In this video, we will address the topic of sea-related sustainability as well as the things that threaten it, both in Portugal and in the world in general, as well as trying to find some solutions to preserve it in present and from now on towards the future. The ocean is a very complex natural system and is deeply connected with many activities and ecosystems on Earth. We have to approach the management of the oceans in a holistic and viable way, in order to achieve its protection and prosperity successfully, working together regionally and globally in order to ensure the safety of every square inch of maritime territory behind borders and national jurisdiction.
Aside from causing the warmth of the sea to rise, which leads to its acidification and alters the raining patterns, the climate changes lead to a reduction of the oxygen levels on oceanic environments, which deeply disturbs the marine ecosystems. The occurrence of natural catastrophes, some of which are intimately related with global warming and others with the geotectonic context of the region, such as tsunamis, floods, hurricanes, severe storms, and intense raining, entails consequences to our oceans. The failure of the climatic crisis measures, all the summits, international forums, all the effort and apparent involvement of the political leaders throughout the world in the goals that are aimed to be achieved in each meeting are, in fact, not doing much. Some studies indicate that there is a considerable population decrease in some marine species. In our country, sardines stand out as one of the most overexplored resources, and for such reason, the International Science Council recommends that this year sardine fishing is completely eradicated.
The limitations imposed to the use of plastic by the European Union can contain the threat. Being no exceptions, turns out that a big part of the plastic that gets to the sea in Portugal came from factories and the acts of neglected of not recycling. The air pollution itself, caused by gas emissions, poor disposal of waste and excessive use of fertilizer can, due to the action of the rain, contaminate bodies of water.
Some of these species are used for luxury cuisine or for alternative therapies for health treatments. Species at the top of the food chains usually have a longer life cycle with more spaced reproduction, so less resistance to the recovery of the species. Intensive aquaculture at sea promotes the proliferation of polluting agents in marine waters. The production of fish and bivalves implies the use of antibiotics and other chemicals, some of them toxic to the ecosystem. This situation is easily visible in Asia waters due to intensive Vietnamese plant production. All changes in the marine environment caused by construction, in-depth drilling, and so many others, including noise pollution, cause changes in habitat, cause various disturbances, and produce pollutants.
Some of the changes with climate change at the ocean level imply pH changes due to the increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This situation is very notorious in tropical areas, where marine ecosystems are extremely sensitive and rich in biodiversity, and whose habitats are undergoing changes that may prove irreversible, particularly in the case of coral reefs. The main consequence of ocean pollution is that it kills organisms that depend on this body of water to live. The oil spilled into the ocean can penetrate the feathers of seabirds or the bronchial tubes of fish, hindering their mobility or feeding capacity. The effects of toxic waste can include cancer, behavior changes, reproductive system failures, and death. Contamination causes an interruption in the food chain. Contaminants such as lead and cadmium are ingested by small animals. Later, these animals are consumed by larger fish and crustaceans, so the food chain continues to be affected at all levels. This affects even humans who eat fish.
Reduce the effects of climate changes in oceans by not driving your car whenever you can, and take conscience of your energy consumption in work and in home. There are some things you can do to minimize the impact of your lifestyle in your environment. replace the traditional incandescent lamps, go for the stairs instead of the elevator, wear more clothes, or use a fan to avoid the thermostat overload. When you go shopping for fish and shellfish, or go out dinner, help reducing the demand for overexplored species, choosing the ones that are, at the same time, healthy and sustainable. The plastics that live and pollute the ocean contribute to the destruction of habitats, trap and kill every year tens of thousands of sea creatures. To limit its impacts, always choose a reusable bottle of water, pack your food in reusable containers, take a reusable bag with you when shopping, and always recycle. Avoid buying objects like coral jewelry, hair accessories made of hawksbill, turtle shell, and shark products. In Portugal, to protect the fish development, there are certain seasons where you can or cannot catch certain types of fish and how much per year you can do it. When those limits are not respected, the authorities apply fines.
At the end of the day, we know this is a very common discussion topic, but we shall not forget why it is so. Just by speaking on the issue, we are not doing anything. We, as individuals, must refute the belief that alone we cannot make a difference in order to, as a community, be able to improve our behavior and develop a more sustainable lifestyle.
The world needs as much from us as we need from it. We shall care for our planet and for all the other species living in it aside from us, for our own sake and for the sake of the future generations. As if we keep neglecting it, we will have no chance at survival in the future, and we will drag most of the living creatures on our planet down with us.